get started here in a little bit, see if some people will hop on. Making a couple of new ones to me this week. Closed on a house this week on Monday. Felt good. Got a couple into their nice new starter home. It's their first time buying a house. Pretty excited for them. They're having a baby in January, so I was excited to be able to get them into a house before they had their second baby. A little bit bigger room for them, and it's their first house, so always good to help people out. Today, we are going to be making two different bourbon drinks. We're going to be doing a bourbon sidecar, and we're also going to be doing my take on a hot toddy. Pretty similar to the original recipe, but a little bit different. Hot toddy is a great winter drink. My buddy Joe Town was telling me a story. He was 9 years old, and he was at his grandparents' house, and he starts coughing and sneezing. He's got a little winter cold. And his grandma goes over to his mom and says, "Is the boy old enough for a hot toddy?" And of course, no, being 9, but it's a classic winter remedy for a cold or a cough, as they give him a hot toddy, the whiskey and the lemon juice. It's a good one. And then the bourbon sidecar is just a fun little bourbon drink. It's nice and sweet, nice and citrus forward. So we'll get started here. I'm still making the hot water, so I'm going to start with the bourbon sidecar. You're going to need an up glass. You're going to need fresh lemons, bourbon of your choice, orange liqueur, Cointreau, triple sec, Grand Marnier, whatever you want to use. And I'm also using a lemon simple syrup that I made. It is simple syrups are super easy. It's just 1-to-1 ratio, water and sugar, and then you leave the ingredient that you want it to taste like in there until it's the right. Virgin hot toddy is what I drink when I'm sick. Well, that's just hot lemon water, Liz. That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you waste your time? Anyway, what we're gonna get started with here is that bourbon drink. So I'm gonna fill my shaker up with some ice. We are going to do still smell the other drinks in there. Good to go. A little bit of ice in there. We're going to do 2 ounces of bourbon. 2 ounces. Got a 1 ounce jigger. That's 2. We are going to do a 1/2 ounce of lemon simple syrup. Very, very lemony, really nice and light though. It really doesn't let that simple syrup get too sweet. I'm also going to do triple sec, 1/2 ounce. And Liz just commented that she does it with honey with her virgin hot toddies. I'm just using simple syrup. Sometimes they're made with honey, and that's typically what they are, but I'm trying out something new. So this sidecar is going to get nice and shaken up. Going to get it nice and chilled. The citrus and the sweet really balances out the bite that the bourbon has, but it leaves all of the really good bourbon flavors, all the oak and vanilla and cherry in there. So we're going to pour that into an up glass, like so. And it's going to be pretty cloudy. We shook it up. It's got citrus and that bourbon, so it's nice and dark. Let it all drip out. For a garnish, I'm going to be doing, these are the lemons that I boiled with the simple syrup to give it the lemon flavor. And what I do after I do that with citrus, be it orange peel or lemon or whatever have you, I freeze them and it makes a really nice garnish, keeps the drink nice and cold. and then it just floats right on top there. So that is the Bourbon Sidecar. Let's give it a taste. It's really good scent to it. That's very, very tasty. Like I said, you get all of the bourbon notes, the oak, the vanilla, the cherry, but less of the bite. It still is warming for a bourbon drink. It's very, very good. And a couple different variations of this. With brandy, it's just a typical Sidecar. And then you can make it a drink called Between the Sheets, which is where you add rum to it. So that is an excellent drink right there. Very easy to drink. Now that my hot water has boiled, we can get on with our hot toddy. So we're gonna cut up some lemons. We gotta get some fresh lemon juice going. I got these new lemons at the store. A little bit interesting. They're seedless lemons. It says non-GMO, but they somehow make them seedless. So far, I'm not seeing any seeds, so I say that as a good thing. Moving on with that. We're gonna do a full ounce of lemon juice into the glass. And that's gonna be very tart, so we're gonna follow it up with 1.5 ounces of simple syrup. This is taking the place of the honey that's in a classic hot toddy. 1 and 2. Seem to be leaking some simple syrup there. And that's gonna go in there. We're gonna mix it up just by swirling it. We are gonna do 1.5 ounces. You know what? Better make it 2 ounces. Why not? Of bourbon. We're going to do a couple of frozen cherries. I like cherries with mine. And then we're going to do a couple of large lemon wedges. Always wash your citrus if they're going to go into a drink like this. Drop those in. And we're going to take just regular hot water, nothing special about that. Then we have our stirring spoon. And whenever you're making a hot drink in a glass, you want to make sure that there's a stem or a handle to hold on to it. That way nothing gets burnt, because it is pretty hot water. So we're just going to stir that around. As it sits, it's going to get a lot more lemony, but it is good to go as is. So those are the cherries in there along with lemons. Let's give it a taste.
Oh my gosh.
Man, that is tasty. Really light on the cherry. That really reinforces the bourbon taste you're getting. The lemon is all there. That's really what you're tasting, but you still get those nice bourbon notes. So that is a hot toddy bourbon, and it's a little bit on my take. And then we also have a bourbon Sidecar. Very excellent. I recommend both of these. This one's really good for a cold winter day like we've been having. This one is good any time of year. So thanks so much for watching this week, you guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who watches these. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a fantastic holiday season with your families. Look forward to seeing you next week for the next week's show. Thanks so much.